love is so contagious. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Your love is so contagious, contagious.
Hello friends, and welcome to another video lesson from DBOS Talks. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified of new uploads. This is the second video in the series called Markdown Tutorial, and in this video we'll be learning about Markdown lists. Okay. If you're not so familiar with Markdown, I strongly suggest that you watch my first video in this playlist. But at any rate, I will still do a quick recap of what was discussed in the first video. Okay. So now, as you know, Markdown file, again, it's a new alternative way of creating online documentation. It can be viewed using a browser like Chrome. It can be viewed online or offline, meaning it could be on the internet, over the internet, or it could be some file, some MD file, Markdown file, such as this one, residing in your local drive, such as what we're doing right now. And it can be edited, created using a text editor like Notepad or Notepad++. Okay. So again, the same as in my first video, I'll be opening two windows. One is the text file, the MD file, Markdown, which we are editing, we're building. And every time we make a change and save the changes, we want to preview it, how it would look in Markdown. Okay, so this is how it looks. This is the MD coding, formatting, whatever you may call it. And this is how it would look in Markdown. Okay. So recap, in the first video, we learned about headings, bold and italic. Headings is, column headings, such as this one. This is a heading. It's in bold, it's in bigger font. It is, it calls for attention, okay? So it's a heading. There are several sizes available in Markdown. The H1, to make a H1 heading, you make 1 hash to enclose your text in 1 hash. And then you have H2, you make 2 hashes all the way up to H6. So this is H1, this is a heading. And then you have ordinary text that you want to put there with no formatting whatsoever. Okay, and then you have bold. If you want something to be bold, you italics first. If you want to make something italics, you enclose something in single asterisk. Okay, if I'll make this into single asterisk and then save, when I come here and then I refresh, then you see this is just italicized, it's not in bold. So italics, single asterisk, bold is double asterisk, and a combination of both, 3 asterisks. Okay, so that's the first lesson. The second, here we'll be learning about lists in Markdown. So broadly, there are 2 kinds of lists, ordered and unordered. Okay, so I'll edit this same file and let's progress using this same file. Okay, the first is an ordered list. Notice that I put a space in between the last entry because what you will notice is that if there is no space, and I save this, they will sometimes appear in the same line. In this case, it's not, it's okay. But sometimes it would not, it would appear, they would appear in the same line. So anyway, I will just put this here, unordered list. So as you can see, I'm using a hash, a H2 hash, surrounding the text with double hash on either side. H2 heading, H2 heading. So this is a H2 heading, slightly smaller in font size than the H1 heading, okay? And this, I'm using double asterisk on either side. This is a bold from here to here. It's a bold. Good things come in threes. Okay, so we all must strive for a healthy ... So this, I'm enclosing in double asterisk on either side, will be formatted into bold. Sorry. Okay, so this part here is in bold. Double asterisk. Now comes the list. So to make a list, first, an ordered list, you can imagine a bulleted list. So you can just put asterisk. Okay. So here I have a list of 3 items, unordered. That means they can be in any sequence. It wouldn't matter to me. So I just bullet them using a simple asterisk. And when I save and refresh, this is how it appears, which is nice and clean, right? It's an unordered list, okay, not ordered. So what happens if we try to use a different character in front? Okay, so here we were using an asterisk. What if I use a dash? Some people call it hyphen, some call it dash. So it works in the same way when we use some other characters such as a dash or hyphen. So let us try that here. Same values listed out, but I'm using a different character as the bullet. Okay, I save my changes here and then I go to my browser again to refresh how it would look. And you can see it looks exactly the same. So meaning regardless of the character I put in front, I don't know what other characters are supported, obviously, other than the 26 letters of the alphabet. But I have so far tried the asterisk and the dash or hyphen. And they work the same. They look the same in the output, okay? Now let's try using some other character. Okay, I'll put that here. This time I'll be using the plus sign. And then I save my changes. It's still the same set of values in here, but I'm using the plus sign as my bullet. And then I save, and then I go to my browser and refresh. So you can see it will still result to the same values, I mean formatting. Okay, so now we have seen several ways of making an unordered list. Okay, let me just, okay, now let's try something else. Maybe you want to make a sub list, still unordered. Okay, I'll write them down here. If you want to make a sub list, you can indent the sub list, such as what I'm doing here. The effect is that the bulleted list will use a different bullet character. So I will make it obvious to Markdown by indenting this. I use a simple tab to indent this. Okay, so originally I had body, mind, spirit, but now I introduced a sub list under each of them. Okay, simply by indenting using a tab character. Now I use the same character, asterisk, only that it is indented. And then I will save this, the changes here, and then go to my browser to see how it looks. Okay, so here is your sublist. What you'll notice is that even though I use the same character to bullet my list here, asterisk, here, asterisk, but because of the intentional, the presence of the indent using the tab, it is understood by Markdown that it becomes a sublist. So in effect, it is using a different bullet character. Okay, so to distinguish from the original bullet character, which is dark black in solid black. Okay, so that's a sub list, still an ordered list. Now let's see how to make an ordered list. Ordered list, which is technically a numbered list. Okay. I'll go to my notepad again and then add some other things. So if you were following, the 2 hashes means this is a H2 heading, which I have called ordered list. And then here, practical tips, maybe I can use a bold, double asterisk. Double asterisk. Save, let's see how it looks, and refresh here. Okay, so ordered list is a H2 heading. So from H1 to H2, you will see a line running underneath. I don't know what it's called. Okay, that's a H2 heading. H1 and H2, this thing happens. After that, I introduced, I added bold formatting to the words, to the phrase practical tips, bold. So it's in bold. And then here, there's a numbered or ordered list, 1, 2, 3, 4, straightforward. Okay, so we have the 1, 2, 3, 4 also. Right, so that's a numbered list. Now, if you feel, let's say you have a long list, maybe 50, I don't know, a list of things, and then you were mumbling to yourself that it's so troublesome, so inconvenient, because you have to number in sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, da da da. So good news is that there's a shortcut to this one. So if you have trouble, you have a lot of things to do, and it's a long list, 1 to 20, 1 to 50, then there's a shorter way to do it. Instead of using sequential numbers, you can write the same number for the list. What do I mean? Instead of saying 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll go to my notepad. Okay. Let me write it down here. Instead of using sequential numbers, you can write the same number for your list. The same number, I mean, instead of saying 1, 2, 3, 4, I would just repeat the number 1, 1, 1, 1. And although it doesn't make sense as we look at it right now in edit mode, once I save my changes here and then I go to my browser and refresh, you will see the effect. See, instead of using sequential numbers, you can write the same number for the list. For all the list items. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 1, 1. But when I come to this preview, it's the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. See, it has the same effect as using sequential numbers. Okay. Finally, we can do a combination of what we have learned. So far, we have learned how to make ordered, unordered, and ordered lists in Markdown. Now let's go a notch higher by combining the 2 concepts. So combination of unordered and ordered list. So I have this numbered list, ordered, and underneath some of them, items 1 and 2, I put a sublist, which is unordered, using some bullet points. Okay, so 1, underneath 1, 2 bullet points as a sublist, and underneath 2, I have 4 items in a sublist. Okay, I will save my changes here and then go to my browser to refresh. Go down, combination, unordered, ordered list. So there's a combination of unordered and ordered list. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if we're going to apply what we have learned here, then you can do this. Although I wouldn't, it's not really up to you, it's really your preference. This is just for convenience, but yeah, so it still works, right? So it's a combination list of unordered and ordered. And as you can see, we have adopted here the use of the same number for the list items. and still they will appear in an ordered manner, right? But if you were to ask me, it would still be, if it is a short list, then I would suggest you would still stick to the convention of 1, 2, 3 sequential, because visually it will not be confusing to whoever will be reading this document years down the road. Okay, so I'll save that and then refresh again here. Okay, so we have learned a couple of things. We have done a recap of the first lesson, which was concepts of headings and bold and italics. And then in this video, second video, we learn about lists, the unordered, the ordered combination, also the combination of both, as well as making sublists. Okay, so I hope we enjoyed the brief video and we have learned a couple of new things in this playlist called Markdown Tutorial. Okay, it's a free documentation, a way of documenting things in the web. It can be online, can be offline, and you just need to, if you don't know anything much about Markdown, I suggest you watch my first video. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe right now, and I will see you in the next video.